Hello, hello, hello. This video is for Sylvia Plath. Here's my artwork. This is my studio. And these are two projects here I'm working on. I'm also working on this one still. That is my camera stand. More projects. This one is finished. That is my container for cotton swabs. And there's more artwork here. Like lots of figurines. Oh yeah, I want to show you those. My figurines. This one in particular looks like my grandmother. Hello, Sylvia. How are you? Nice to meet you. That's an honor. An honor, an honor. Yes. I don't come across someone like you a lot on the internet. I send you much love. So this is my grandmother, sort of like a hybrid. See, my grandmother, she wanted to be reborn as my child, but all I could do for her is to mate with a dog, and then this came out of it. That's okay, but maybe in another lifetime. So in this lifetime, I'm an anti-natalist. So this is called Grief. It is my painting that I made after my dog Kenny died in 2016, December. It was very, very hard. And the papa dog, he came and rescued us. You can see him in my other videos. They're downstairs. Maybe I'll go downstairs later. I just want to, here are a couple of copies from, a couple of prints from some of my books that I have written. And one of the fairy tale story, I can still find it's on WordPress. But last night I was trying to find my Friedrich Nietzsche book, which is on Blogger, and I put it in. I told my name, the title. I could not find it anymore. I don't know why. This is crazy. And I've switched accounts so many times because I'm running away from my past self. That, it caused me all kinds of problems. It was not easy. And I ran away from people and from myself, and it was crazy. And so, because of that, I couldn't find my Blogger post anymore. The translation of Thus Spoke Zarathustra, also sprach Zarathustra. The first third of the book I translated into English, and it's not a finished piece, of course. Neither it is just a third, and it's also like far from being edited, so there are lots of problems in it, and I would have to go through this again, and I haven't touched that in several years. And I've always been wanting to find someone to talk to me about Friedrich Nietzsche and his philosophy and his message to the world. And it's been very difficult. One time, and that guy saved my life. It was 2012, and I'm coming across this guy, Dionysos is his username, because he's a fan of Friedrich Nietzsche, and he sees himself as Dionysos, as that what Friedrich Nietzsche says we should be. We should live to the fullest, and I mean, that guy Eric, he probably misunderstood that a little bit because he went into drugs and all kinds of things, But I don't know how much of the stuff that he told me is imagination or just like a book he wrote about himself, or he actually did. He went to, but he was studying philosophy at the university out there in Kentucky. And he was very knowledgeable about Derrida, Foucault, and Nietzsche. And we talked and talked and talked. We wrote each other emails. I fell in love with him. I said to him, I'm falling in love with you because you are a philosophy fan, and you're cute, and you're a guy, and I'm attracted to guys. So because I'm a woman. And so, but he said to me, no, I'm sorry, I'm not attracted to you. I said, okay, it doesn't matter. But he said to me, you're badass, he said. I said, okay, that sounds like a compliment, I guess. I don't use that word. But I thought that was very, very cool, that friendship I had to Eric. I don't know how he's doing. I hope he's doing well. I lost contact with him. And he saved my life through a panic attack. It was very, very severe. I thought I was going to die for sure. I thought I cannot handle it anymore. It was so bad. It was that year 2012 was really, that was the worst year in my entire life because of all kinds of things, all kinds of like collective panic and panic that the world was going to end, and it didn't. And when it didn't end, I was like, okay, so much for all of those conspiracy theories. I am completely cured now. So nothing that someone says can ever scare me again. So that was the good part of it. My dad wanted me to see a psychiatrist. I said, I am through with psychiatrists. I quit them already in 2003. I am completely done and over with this. I have had my fair share of psychiatrists, and they're toxic drugs. So I went into natural healing. I cured myself, and I even went, and in 2012 I was still like in the very beginning of my natural healing path. So if I had known all the stuff that I know now, we got this house in 2010, and I have to say this house here, and I knew this in the beginning, that this house was going to be my school ground, my monastery, my teacher. And it is. This house, it had all kinds of sicknesses in it from the people who lived here before. We cured this house, and the house cured me. I don't know if it cured my husband, but it cured me in terms of it taught me things. I learned so much in this house. This house taught me things. And I learned so much on the internet, and I learned how to heal my own wounds, emotional and physical and whatever, psychosomatic stuff, immune problems that can occur when someone is stressed, like at the university back in Germany, when I was stressed under the statistics exams for psychology. They use statistics makes it a scientific study field. So I could not escape from that. And it was harsh. I was lonely. It was time pressure, and it was very strict. We had to go through 4 of those before we get into, as prerequisite for the 4 diploma, which is like the pre-diploma, like the midterm, or as they would call it here. And before I even got into the midterm, I had to quit it because I couldn't give presentations, which I'm trying to learn now, and it's very hard a lot of times to stay focused when there's a lot of mental noise going on. I don't have voices, but I have a lot of like intrusive thoughts, a lot of doubt thoughts, a lot of insecurity thoughts, and all of this comes in and it's probably also connected to other entities and stuff. Not everyone believes this. I don't know if Sylvia Plath believes this, but I am quite a metaphysical psychic. But anyway, I was so overwhelmed at the university that I had an IUD and it caused an infection. So an IUD normally does not, I recommend it because it normally doesn't cause infections. But when we're under a lot of stress and we have to deal with exams and stuff like this and loneliness, then the IOD I didn't even need it because I was so lonely. So then it caused an infection at the fallopian tube and I had to go to the hospital. I actually had to go to the hospital twice. The first time that thing had to be removed, and then it happened another time that I got an infection. And then I even had the same infection when I was studying psychology in Berlin as well. So it was crazy. And it's because of stress. So stress causes the immune system to be overloaded. And so then we just can't deal with such an onslaught of things that come at us, and hate from other people and students and this and this and this and that. And so, yeah, but now I'm a celibate housewife. That's much better. I don't have exams that I have to succeed in, and so I create my own world and my own rules, and I am glad that at least I have a few of these quotes here from the book, from my translation, and I want to start with this one here. This is what Friedrich Nietzsche said in the Zarathustra. You probably know. So I'm going to read this to you. It is here pinned onto my window to protect the stuff here from the sun. And I'm glad I did this because the book, I just could not find it anymore. I have no idea where it is. So this is what the Zarathustra says to his disciples, but also towards the people on the marketplace, the haters, that hate him so much. They go like, who are you to tell us how to live our lives? So this is what he says. I teach you the superhuman. The human is something that shall be overcome. What have you done to overcome him? You have gone the path from warm to human, and much in you is still warm. Once you were monkeys, and even now. Is the human more monkey than any monkey is? I quote this a lot also when Paul and I are going shopping. But whoever is the wisest of you is still only a twilight and hybrid of plant and ghost. But do I tell you to become plants and ghosts? See, I teach you the superhuman. The superhuman is the meaning of the earth. Your intention should say, the superhuman be the meaning of the earth. I swear to you, my brothers, stay faithful to the earth and don't believe in supernatural powers. So that is my quote that I found here, and I'm glad that I had accidentally pinned this one on the window because I love it so much. And then there are some quotes also from my book, from the fairy tale book that I wrote about Hildegard von Bingen. That's one of my favorite historic figures. And I also composed a couple of songs, medieval songs, that I also put into that book. So that book is on WordPress. The Zarathustra translation is on Blogger, and I cannot find it anymore. I found some other of my Blogger paid some past ones, but this one I just couldn't find it anymore. I have no idea why. This is absolutely crazy. But I am excited that you are a fan of Friedrich Nietzsche. To me, this is so incredibly touching and wonderful. So yeah, so that's what I wanted to say in this video for now. And oh, and I also wanted to say, because I'm wearing a Donald Trump t-shirt, make the world great again. Yay, Trump! Yes. Okay. Well, I don't know if Sylvia Plath approves of that, but whether she does or not, in this or the past lifetime, that is her business. And I'm not going to judge anyone. I'm not going to judge anyone if they don't like Donald Trump. All I can say to the world is I have studied politics and I've paid attention since 2000. Since 2000, actually, yeah. When Al Gore was running against George W. Bush, and my dad said, of course Al Gore is gonna win. So everyone thought, yeah, of course. No, we didn't know psychology, okay? So the corporate agenda was the Electoral College and their trickery. They got George W. Bush in, aka Dick Cheney, who was running this country, which caused them terrible heart problems. Ended up in the hospital. He had to have bypass surgery done. And the week after the bypass surgery, I was lucky enough, Psychic Nicola, I found a video in which Dick Cheney said, after his surgery, in which he said, you guys need to vote for Hillary Clinton, seriously, or the world's gonna go down. Okay, so no one listened, of course. And I campaigned hard for Hillary Clinton. I campaigned hard for Al Gore, for Hillary Clinton. I am on the side of the planet and the animals, okay? And then we had Barack Obama in office, which I didn't support because I'm an animal rights activist, and I already knew that Barack Obama was gonna be red bar across in this regard. And he almost got the United States to sign up for whale hunting again on US territory. The only president after Nixon, okay, that wanted to reinstate whale hunting on US territory. You know, that's how bad that guy is. And like numerous other horrible things that he caused. So I don't want to be misunderstood by anyone. Because I know this easily gets misunderstood and swallowed in the wrong parts of the body, okay? So I like Van Jones. Van Jones is also black, and he would be a great president, okay? So, and he likes polar bears, and he is also very engaged with animal rights and with environmentalism, and he wants to make the world better. So those people I support, regardless of the skin color. I don't support the people that are cold-hearted, regardless of the skin color. So that's also a strong message for the world that I have, that I want people to never go by, oh, he is this group, he belongs to this group, I better not say anything or I will be labeled, you know. So I want people to abandon the fear of social rejection. This is very important that we do this. Very, very, very important. So Friedrich Nietzsche said, we need to have the will to power. Okay. Donald Trump is one of the very rare people, even exceeding Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton and Al Gore in this way of standing his ground. He would never let someone like Huma Abedin push him over and run his campaign, which Hillary Clinton did. She let other people tell her bullshit and run her campaign into the ground deliberately, because the corporate agenda had their middlemen and collaborators and filaments in every niche and cranny with her campaign in order to sabotage it, and they did. She still had the majority of the votes in every election, and so did Al Gore. But the corporate agenda manages with all kinds of trickery, with absentee votes that became absent so suddenly for some odd reason. So, yeah, no, not for some odd reason. For a corporate greed reason, these absentee votes were embezzled. So that's what was going on. It's very, very, very scary. But I studied Donald Trump. I saw this very powerful person who is not afraid to say what he wants to say. He's not afraid to be who he is. He has the will to power, but power in the sense of the Dionysus, not in the hedonistic way, not just hedonistic. A little bit hedonism is important, but the most important thing is powerful in the sense of making the world a better place, powerful in standing up for justice, in saying no when it is appropriate to say no, not to shy away from saying no because then, it could be bad for our campaign, as in all of these other candidates. Okay, Donald Trump's not afraid to stand up for justice, and even if it steps on some people's feet, emotional ego feet. He's not afraid to say what he has to say. He's not afraid to stand up for this country, to save this country from going into a plunge economically and in regards to society and civil peace. Okay, so I really had my worst worries. So when it was between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, I was already relieved because either one was going to be good. And when Donald Trump won and I saw how Huma Abedin was running Hillary Clinton's campaign and had the kind of emails she sent out, including to me, I was so outraged that I blocked her and I said, this is insane what Hillary Clinton lets people do to her. And so we still stuck with Hillary, but when Donald won, I was actually relieved because I saw what they're doing with Hillary. I saw how Hillary was caving in. She was caving into the Muslim agenda and all of these, these social things where she should be standing up very strongly. Donald Trump also cares about the animals and the earth, but he stands on the wrong platform now. And he does this. He didn't need this for his ego. He didn't need this for his money. He has his own money. He didn't need to burden himself like this. He's also, he would rather enjoy his life and have fun and go on vacations. But he did this. He ran under the Republican Party in order to save this country. He was helping Hillary. He wanted Hillary to win. But he thought if she doesn't, and one of the other guys in the Republican Party, if one of them wins, this country will be finished on every level, ecologically, economically, socially. Okay, it'd be flattened. It'd be a continuation of the Obama administration. It doesn't matter from which party they come. If they are corporate oriented, which Obama is, and all the people except for Donald Trump in the Republican Party. Barack Obama was a Republican senator before he was recruited to run against Hillary Clinton. People don't know any of these things. He has actually gone corporate-wise against the very group that he claims to help in the world. So all of these things, a few black people knew about this, very few. Most people have had absolutely no idea who that guy is. There were some people that warned us, including some black people at that time that said, "Don't fall for this guy. He is not on our side." Okay, but the masses, they go with the propaganda, of course. They hear the propaganda. They hear Oprah Winfrey endorse someone, and it's a clear thing. It's already checked. It's already marked on the calendar. So that's how people are, and it's very sad to me to see this. And Friedrich Nietzsche says in all of his books, that we need to have the will to power and truth and love, and to really stand up for what's good, what will help the animals, the planet, and us to move forward into improvement states. Okay, so this is very, very important. And so studying Donald Trump, looking at everything that he said, interviews, this, the Apprentice has already impressed me a lot. There was something about him that I thought, first, a lot of people go, "Oh, this ruthless businessman." I was questioning it. Is he ruthless? Or is he's just a very good businessman? There's nothing wrong with being a business person, with making money, with creating something, creating an empire. There's nothing wrong about that. Okay, so the more I heard about him, the more I studied him, the more I read about him, what he has written, the more I liked him. Okay, and it still keeps going like this. It keeps going up, that graph. So the more I see, the more now the stuff that he's doing, politics with other countries, the more I see, the more I am impressed, and see that he actually saved the United States from a war with North Korea and even China, because North Korea is tied to China. So economically, very severely. It's like North Korea is owned by China, is sort of like it's their alibi mega sweatshop country that they're using to create merchandise really, really cheap on cost of people. And it's horrific. I saw a documentary on North Korea. People should be watching this. It's a nightmare. Okay. That Kim Jong-un is just like he grew up into this, and he's never known anything else. He has never seen things from another perspective, and he's afraid that, of course, he's afraid that he could be overturned at any time. So he's like, everything that he does is under enormous pressure and fear. Okay, and that's not good. Okay, that causes wars. That causes unimaginable suffering. This kind of situation, and that he is in, that kind of position that he has. So Donald Trump handled it very, very well. He doesn't give in. He doesn't cave in. He doesn't back off. He states, this is where we're standing. This is what we need. This is the peace we need to create. These are the trade agreements. This is everything depends on this, and we're not backing off. Okay. And he also got rid of ISIS in the same way in the Middle East. They have spread now around the other parts of the world. Okay, the Philippine Islands are bombarded with it. It's a horrible nightmare. That got started by Dick Cheney and George W. Bush. Barack Obama widened it. Okay, so most people don't know this. They see something, and in reality, it's exactly reversed from the way it actually is. Donald Trump's here to help us, and he is not afraid to have the will to power. And I think we should all support him. I think this is very important. But, if you have a different opinion, that's okay with me. That doesn't bother me. I'm always interested in sharing my thoughts on things. And if I make some people mad, I can't avoid that. So obviously, there are people on the internet, I see it every day. I will say something that totally stands so against the stream of society, and what people regard as acceptable. And I go against it, and they completely lose it. So they can particularly not accept, men in particular, cannot accept when a woman stands her own ground and has her own mind. So that's really, really unsettling for a lot of men. And that's why I say to the world, if you're a girl or a woman, older woman, like myself, any age, stand your ground. Live that what you want to live, have the thoughts you have and voice them. And don't be afraid to be rejected by anyone. So, and I think that is also the impetus of Sylvia Plath, and that's why I strongly admire her. And I think she is an amazing word genius. And I feel very strongly with her because I have had my share of suffering as well. And I know what that's like. I know what it's like to suffer, particularly to suffer in a world where the majority of people are mean and intellectually dishonest. And that would make any sensitive person like Sylvia Plath suffer. So those are my words now for today, and it's already over half an hour. And so that's my video for you, Sylvia. And what is your name in this lifetime? And so, yeah, make me a video back if you have time, and hook up with me on Facebook. A lot of people don't use Facebook anymore, but it's still the only place where I can have private messaging. So, but if you don't want to use Facebook, we can also email each other. I can give you my email address, and once you got it, I can delete it again. So I just don't want to get a whole lot of haters to see my email address, and I don't know what they might even spy on me. They're already probably doing it, so they're already having their fun. So, but yeah, whatever you feel like doing. So I hope you still like me after seeing my Donald Trump t-shirt. Take care, Sylvia. Bye.